All right, let's cut through the noise. Forget all those vague productivity hacks you've heard a million times. If you're a solopreneur, you know your day is a constant battle for focus. Well, think of this as your new tactical playbook for winning that battle. We're going to build a daily routine that actually works with your biology, not against it, so you can hit that peak performance state. Let's dive in. First things first, a really honest question. What was the very first thing you did when you woke up today? Be real. Did your hand just kind of automatically reach for your phone? If the answer is yes, you've already lost the first and maybe most important battle of the day. That one little action is like surrendering to distraction before your feet even hit the floor. And look, this isn't some failure of willpower on your part. It's way deeper than that. It's a hijacking of your neurology. That first choice you make, whether to grab your phone or not, sends a huge signal to your brain. It sets the entire trajectory for the day. Is it going to be a proactive, focused day where you're in charge, or a reactive, chaotic one where you're just putting out fires? The stakes in those first 10 minutes are that high. So, what's the first move? It's simple but powerful. We're not just setting a new rule. We are staging a rebellion against distraction. We're putting in place a universal ban on all external inputs for the first hour you're awake. And that starts with the number one offender, your smartphone. This is all about reclaiming your mind and your morning. Now, why such a hard line on this? It's because your body is literally waiting for a starting gun to fire to begin the day's race. We call this your circadian trigger. It kicks off this whole cascade of hormones and neurotransmitters that basically govern your energy and focus all day long. Your phone isn't just a distraction. It's the wrong starting gun. Let's just break down the neurobiology here, side by side. When you check your phone first, bam, you're instantly in a reactive state. You're fighting fires, dealing with someone else's agenda. The blue light from the screen just confuses your system. But when you get direct sunlight first, you send the right signal. This triggers a healthy, perfectly timed release of cortisol, which is exactly what you need to feel alert, and it aligns your entire system for the day. You start on your terms, not someone else's. Okay, so with the phone ban from that first hour, we're not just going to leave a void. That doesn't work. Instead, we're going to build a launch pad. We're strategically replacing a destructive habit with a stack of powerful automatic ones that are designed to just propel you into a super productive day. You know, James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, said it perfectly. Good habits make time your ally. For a solopreneur, this isn't just a nice to have, it's non-negotiable. The whole goal here is to get a morning routine that runs on autopilot, building positive momentum without draining any of that precious decision-making energy you need for later. That's the real power of habit stacking. So here's the stack. It's so simple, but it is absolutely non-negotiable. First, you wake up at the same time every single day. This anchors your body's rhythm. Second, you immediately get 10 to 30 minutes of sunlight. Third, you add some forward movement to that sunlight, like a brisk walk. This creates something called optic flow, which is scientifically proven to lower anxiety. And finally, and this one might hurt a little, you hold off on that coffee. The science behind delaying your caffeine is a total game changer. See, overnight, this compound called adenosine builds up in your brain, and that's what makes you feel groggy. Your body is designed to naturally clear it out in the morning. But if you drink coffee too early, you block that whole process, which leads to that massive energy crash later in the afternoon. Waiting just 90 minutes lets your body do its job first, so that caffeine gives you a real, sustained lift, not just a temporary spike and a crash. Okay, our morning routine is dialed in. Now let's talk about the workday itself. This isn't about grinding out more hours. It's about engineering short periods of intense, deep focus to get the most important stuff done. So forget that 8-hour slog. We're thinking in sprints. And the magic number for this entire system is 90. Yep, that's it. Research shows that 90 minutes is pretty much the maximum amount of time the human brain can sustain that really intense, unbroken concentration. So the goal is to structure your day around 2 of these powerful, deep work sprints, and you absolutely want to get at least one of them done before noon. Now, each sprint has some very strict, non-negotiable rules. You have to think of this time as sacred, a protected space for your most important work. That means one task and only one task. Your phone is off or in another room, 0 notifications, no email, no social media. Context switching is the silent killer of all productivity. This is all about giving 100% of your brain power to the single most essential thing on your to-do list. But here's the thing. What you do between those sprints is just as crucial as the sprints themselves. If a deep work sprint is you flooring the gas pedal, then your brakes are the pit stop. And you know what they say? A bad pit stop can absolutely ruin the entire race.
This right here requires a huge mindset shift. A break is not an invitation to mindlessly scroll social media or check your email. That isn't recovery. It's just a different kind of work for your brain. A real, effective break is about deliberate recovery. Its only purpose is to recharge your brain for the next round of high-intensity focus.
So what does a good break look like? It's actually really simple. Hydrate, your brain is mostly water, so drink some. Move, get up, walk around, do a few stretches, and most importantly, disconnect. Actually look away from all of your screens. These simple things replenish your mental energy. They don't drain it even more. And that brings us to the final, most foundational pillar of this whole system. You can have the perfect morning routine, the most focused work sprints, but without this last piece, the entire structure just collapses. You have to start protecting your sleep as if it were your company's revenue, because in a way it is. You can forget all the biohacking gadgets, the fancy supplements, all of it. Sleep is the original, and it is still the most powerful performance enhancer available to any of us. It is not a luxury. It's not a sign of weakness. It is a core critical function of any high-performing system, and that includes you and your business. I mean, think about it. For a solopreneur, quality sleep directly fuels your most valuable assets. What are they? Your ability to make clear, smart decisions, your ability to regulate your emotions when things get stressful, and your ability to think creatively and solve problems. If you neglect sleep, you're basically choosing to show up jet-lagged to your own business every single day. So I'll leave you with this final thought. What would change in your life and your business if you scheduled your bedtime with the same seriousness as a can't-miss client meeting? Because that's what it is. It's a standing appointment with your future self, the one who has to show up tomorrow fully charged and ready to win the day.